everyone, welcome back to Astroways face reading. Today we have our eyebrows. Remember the last episode we talked about the forehead, the yinyang, also the different types of wrinkles. We said forehead is the first part of our face and it represents the first 30 years of our lives. When our first 30 years of lives comes to an end, our fortune goes through the yinyang and comes down to our eyebrows. That's why we have to leave our yinyang clean and hairless, so the fortune can go past our 30 years hurdle. When you pass the hurdle, it reaches our eyebrows. Even though eyebrows is only in charge of our age 31 to 34, but eyebrows is also our house of siblings. That's the relationship between you and your siblings. And not only siblings, also friends, colleagues, people are the same generation as you. So what's good eyebrows? Eyebrows can have many different shapes, but no matter what shape it is, in general, a good eyebrows is long enough, smooth, thin, clear, centralized, and aligned with your brow bones. Long enough means your eyebrows are slightly longer than your eyes, not shorter than your eyes, not overly longer than your eyes, just slightly longer than your eyes. Smooth means your hair is growing on the same direction. It's not messed up with some growing this way and others growing that way. It's all growing the same direction. Thin. Thin doesn't mean the thickness of your entire eyebrows is thin. It means the hair of your eyebrows per hair is thin. Clear means it's not too strong. You can slightly see the skin underneath. Centralized and aligned with your brow bone means the hair doesn't go everywhere. It sticks to your bone from the beginning to the end. That's good eyebrows. Of course, male eyebrows are different from female eyebrows. Guys have thicker hair than girls. That's normal. The thicker your eyebrow hair is, the tougher your personality is. The thinner your eyebrow hair is, the softer your heart is. The defter your fingers are, like really good at making things with their hands, usually girl stuff. That's why guys usually have thicker eyebrows than girls, because they're usually tougher than girls. Well, you think so. Although nowadays, a lot of girls are quite tough. And guys getting softer, getting into beauty industry and have their nails done and everything, especially the new generation. You see those boys usually have thinner and softer eyebrows like girls. So gender is one difference. Origin is another difference. People from Asia tend to have softer eyebrows than Westerners, especially Northeast Asians, Chinese, Japanese, and Koreans. People from those countries tend to have softer eyebrows. They look a bit shy, nice, and smiley. They're usually really good at using their hands, sewing, folding dumplings, painting nails. It's true, 9 out of 10 nail salons are opened by Chinese. While people from Western countries are more outspeaking, brave, and bold, so they tend to have stronger eyebrows. Also for eyebrows, we have different directions. We have eyebrows going up, going down, or flat. Eyebrows going up straight is called sword eyebrows. It's like a sword. This is very good eyebrows. People with these eyebrows are very brave, mighty, heroic. Most heroes or saviors of the world or generals of the army have these eyebrows. But these eyebrows also requires good control of your temper and emotion. You need to know how to use your sword in the right way, otherwise you just be a killer. There's also another way of going up, which is going up then bend down at the end. This is one of the most common type of eyebrows. Basically means you're good at work. But just be careful not to be too far off your brow bone. Some people paint their eyebrows ridiculously high up. Then this is what we call drama queen. So what if your eyebrows are going down? We call it the 8 eyebrows because This going down shape is like the Chinese character for the number 8. 8 eyebrows people are very kind and generous. They're very gentleman type, very respectful and never argue with others. Then we have flat eyebrows. Flat eyebrows people are like stubborn type of people. They tend to cling on their opinions and it's hard to convince them. They're willing to take responsibilities, but also never admit their mistakes. It's hard to say if it's good or bad, but the characters is just not very flexible. So these are the directions of the eyebrows, but what we've said are the overall directions of the whole eyebrow. There's also the directions of how the hair grows inside of our eyebrows. So take a close look at the direction of the hair in your eyebrows, especially at the end. You see they have a trend of either growing upward or downward. Most Westerners have their eyebrows hair growing upward, while most Asians, especially Northeast Asians like Chinese, have their hair growing downward. People with hair growing up are positive people. They don't usually worry too much about tomorrow, while people with hair growing down, they tend to think about the worst case first and all the worries. For example, back in the last generation, when mortgage and credit cards were already very popular in the Western world, it was already really popular to buy properties, getting loans from the bank. Chinese people were still saving up all their life and bought properties with cash because they had too much worries about not being able to pay back or anything. Another good example is COVID. Chinese people are very nervous about COVID. As soon as you heard one COVID case in the next town, you never leave your house. You put 10 masks on. When you get home, wash this, wash that, don't touch this, don't touch that. UV lights everywhere, killing bacteria every 10 minutes. In Western countries, you don't see that. They're not worried about these things. If you talk about UV lights, most people don't even know what it is. I mean, even without COVID, you always hear Chinese people eating things like natural plants, Chinese medicine, goji, juju, ginkgo, ginseng. Oh, I got a little bit of a headache. Quick, cook a soup, go to acupuncture. While Western people really don't think it's a big deal, they focus more on today rather than tomorrow. They have less worries comparing to Chinese. So culture also affects what we look like. That's the main trend. Maybe in a few years more and more Western people getting into Chinese medicine, more and more Chinese people willing to run risk and live for today. Okay, let's move on to the next type of eyebrows. If your eyebrows are not aligned, one eyebrow is higher or lower than the other, that means you don't have a very good relationship with your siblings. You have different opinions, you have disagreements, or you're not very close. If your eyebrows are cut or broken, you're like this when you were born. That usually happens to people who have missing siblings. The sibling passed away or had some major injury, or gone missing, or lost contact, or for some reason you were apart, you didn't grow up together. For people who don't have siblings, this usually means they tend to have problems with their social life, don't have close friends, or they're not very good at making friends. Same goes to people who have very short eyebrows. The eyebrows stop halfway. These people usually either don't have siblings, or they hate their siblings, or they tend to lose their siblings, like passed away or lost contact. Eyebrows also associate with thought process. People with super long eyebrows, the thought process is long. They think a lot, analyze a lot before they make any decisions. Okay, so I think we cover most of the eyebrows type. But for eyebrows, it's not only the hair itself, it's the brow bone also matters. Some people, you almost don't see their bone, it's all flat. But some people you see huge bones sticking out. Flat bones usually means You're easy to trust people. You're easier to be convinced. While big bone people usually are not easy to fall for what other people say. They would look at you, analyze what you say, then decide. Usually guys have stronger brow bone than girls because girls got softer hearts. They tend to trust people easier than guys do. And if your brow bone is overly poking out, then it means it can be a bit impulsive and aggressive. But no matter how much your bone poking out or not poking out, as long as your eyebrows are good and aligned with your brow bone, then it's always better. So that's the brow bone. Next thing is when you look at someone's eyebrows, you also need to see the combination between the eyes and the brows. If someone's eyes are weak and no focus, but the eyebrows are overly thick, overly strong, thick hair and thick shape, like when you look at someone's face, the first thing you see is not the eyes, it's the eyebrows. The eyebrows are stronger than the eyes, overpower the eyes massively. Then you need to be careful. These people usually are very impulsive, very tactless. They can't control the emotions because our eyebrows are like the assistants of our eyes. They're here to help our eyes. If eyes is the president, then the eyebrows is like the vice president. What happens if the vice president is more powerful than the president? Then the country will fall apart. However, if your eyes are super powerful as well, like dragon eyes, then we say it's super good to have both strong eyes and brows, only if the brows don't overpower the eyes. Relationships between eyes and eyebrows is actually more important than the individual eyes and brows. It shows the balance between them two. Not only this, even the gap between the eyebrows and the eyes is full of knowledge. But I think this episode is too long. Let's talk about that in the next episode. Anyways, eyebrows is like your emotion. Good eyebrows and brow bones means you have good control of yourself. You know what you're doing. You find a lot of criminals, like serial killers, they don't usually have good eyebrows because they fail to control themselves. Like animals. Animals don't have much eyebrows, like 1, 2 hair here. They don't need to control their emotions. But human does. That's the difference. Okay guys, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this eyebrows episode. If you want to have your personal face reading with me, you can email me at astroways.info@gmail.com or find me on Facebook at Astroways. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to know more about metaphysics, please subscribe my channel and I'll keep you updated.